Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another video, and I'm going to go ahead and get straight to the point. As of right now, based on everything that I have seen, I am going to stop buying individual stocks for a while, and I'm just going to start to build cash and get myself prepared for when the time is right. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop buying stocks, period, because I always like to dollar cost average into index funds. And like I said, you do the same thing with your paychecks anyway. I'm sure many of you guys who follow me have a 401k, and regardless of what the market is doing, you always have a tiny portion of your paychecks that go to your 401k every single time. At least I know I do. And then my job, thankfully, matches that. So I'll still be doing that. And the money that I get just for my job that, doesn't go to freaking taxes and all that stuff, I will be using that to strictly buy things like index funds, and that'll really be it. I am done buying individual stocks, and I'm here to definitely let you guys know, I am pivoting my strategy a little bit, and you're always going to get honesty and transparency from me. Don't worry, we're going to make fun of the meme and YouTube stocks later, but I have to get this serious video out because I have to make sure I let you guys know right now. There's nothing that can stop any stock from dropping. That even includes Apple and Microsoft now. And I'm going to tell you why. You guys know that before. I know everybody was calling on a recession, but what I always said was you can't predict these things. You can't just come out and say, oh, we're going to get a recession. I think it's stupid when you get these bears who come out here and, these same people like Peter Schiff and all of them who literally call for a recession every year. It's like you just lose credibility when you're just kind of notoriously known as a bear. But me, I'm not a bear or a bull. I'm just a person who just follows the data, right? And everything that I'm saying points that we're either in a recession now or we're going to get one, within the next maybe few months or 6 months or whatever. But either way, I think one of the biggest mistakes you can make right now is buy stocks. And here was the wake up call for me. This morning, Uber became the latest tech company to warn of a slowdown in hiring. And we know that Facebook also did this. Facebook last week told staff that it would slow or stop the pace of hiring, which is not good. And Robinhood also said that they were cutting about 9% of its workforce. I suspect you're going to start to get more companies that are going to start talking like this. And when you mix that in with the fact that we still have this inflation issue and the fact that, the whole thing of you can't fight the Fed and the Fed is raising interest rates, I don't think this is a good time to start buying. Now, here's where I think the Fed went wrong. I am starting to lean towards the camp that the Fed went wrong. And I see why people are saying that the Fed is behind the curve. And the reason why is because I think it would have been better if the Fed laid the hammer down early and just ripped off the Band-Aid like at the very beginning and just said, let's just get this over with. But I think what we have now is the worst case scenario. I think what we have now is we're starting to lean towards stagflation, right? And on top of leaning towards stagflation, we are also leaning towards a recession on the horizon. And it's just not looking good, I got to be honest with you guys. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. So I alerted my family, right? Because obviously I want to tell my family what's going on. We have a group chat and everything. And I told my family the group chat, I said, all right, guys, I'm giving up. I know I've said, buy the dip on Apple and Microsoft, but I told them, I said, don't buy any more individual stocks. If you want to buy something, if you feel like things are dipping so low, you're like, I just got to buy something. Then I said, just buy index funds. Just get you some VOO or VTI, or, you want to get you some QQQ. So, yeah, I don't think we're anywhere near the bottom of the stock market. I think things can and will fall lower, and this does include Apple and Microsoft, so, and Google and everything like that. So, like I said, I wouldn't be buying right now unless it's index funds. You could buy something. I mean, if you want to nibble a little bit of like, Apple or something here, something like that. If you just want to nibble, put a tiny bit, you can. But for me, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just going to sit on the sidelines and wait and just be patient because everything's going to be a falling knife for a while, like literally for months to come. And it's going to be slow, right? It's this slow bleed. It's not going to drop all at once, so you're not going to really notice it. It's just going to be every single week. It's just going to slowly go lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And that doesn't mean sell all your stocks and panic. If you're in good stuff, you'll be fine. Like, I'm not pulling to meet Kevin. I'm not selling all my stocks or losing my mind. That's just stupid. That's ridiculous. But I'm at least, aware enough to recognize that there's a lot more pain coming. and things are not looking good. Waking up and seeing the Uber CEO, I don't know if you guys read that letter, but I read his letter, and seeing how fearful he is and what's going on, it just told me like, okay, yeah, no, nope. So to all the bears who've been in my comments clowning me, I admit that many of you are right. So there you go. You know, I never have an issue admitting that I'm wrong. You guys know that. I never claim to be a guru or know-it-all. I'd like to think that I'm a pretty good investor, but you know, sometimes you miss things. And I do think that I'm a little bit late to the party here, but either way, I'd rather be late, a little late than completely, you know, fully late, if you know what I mean. You know, like I'd rather be late now than, you know, preaching on YouTube. Buy the dip for the next like 3 months as things continue to go lower. So even though I'm a little late, I'm still gonna, you know, say how I feel. And for all the bears who've been in my comments, obviously I've had a lot of trolls, so forget you guys. But to the people who are actually constructive and were trying to tell me like, dude, I'm telling you, this is bad. Like, don't do it. I appreciate that, because you're right. I recognize now that you were right. And I'm not necessarily saying I'm turning bearish. I'm just following the data, right? This isn't a fear video. This isn't a FUD video. This isn't a bearish video. This is honestly just a truth video. You cannot deny the facts that are before you. You know, you don't want to be a typical retail investor. You know, Wall Street calls us dumb money. You don't want to be that, where Wall Street already knows what's coming. And then you got all these retail people like, oh, I'm buying when others are fearful. Be greedy. Like, yes, you're right. But there's so much more fear coming and pain coming. You're better off just holding cash and waiting, right? So that's something that I would make sure to do. And yeah, as of right now, I am going to stop buying stocks for a while. And I'm glad I'm telling you guys this, because when stuff starts to drop more, you won't have to worry about it anymore, because now you've got plenty of cash on the side to buy. That doesn't mean you buy now, but if you want to know when I plan to buy, I plan to buy when we start to get more updates from the Fed. I'm waiting on the Fed, and I'm looking at the macroeconomic picture. Again, not timing the market, because you can never time the market, but you also can't ignore data, right? So, of course, I'm not going to try and time the market, but the data is telling me that the market is going lower, and we could very well be in a recession right now. You're literally starting to see companies cut jobs, and, you know, stocks are going much, much lower in response to all of the macroeconomic factors going on, and I think it's going to continue. So why would I keep buying stocks when I've recognized in my head? Like I said, I was wrong before. I admit that. Before, we probably should have stopped buying stocks maybe a month or so ago, and I didn't recognize that, and I apologize for that. You know, I'm always going to be honest here. I apologize for that, but I recognize it now, right? And now that I recognize it now, I'm telling you guys how I honestly feel, and at least for the time being, until further notice, I will not be buying anything. I'm just going to start stacking up cash. I actually have some cash ready to go that I was going to put into the market this week. I had in a certain bank account ready, but now I'm like, I think I'm just going to hold it there and just wait, because things just really look bad. And yeah, I just, yeah, that's all I can say, guys. I mean, what else can I say, you know? So there you have it. I think that's it. Yeah, we're still going to make fun of the crappy stocks, because at the end of the day, not everything missed earnings. Obviously, things are looking bad with some of these companies missing earnings, but DraftKings did beat earnings, and that is one of my risky plays. Makes up less than 5% of my portfolio. My two favorite companies, Microsoft and Apple, did beat earnings, so I think I'm still in the boat to still talk and make fun of other YouTubers' crappy stock picks, because my stock picks actually did pretty well, even my risky ones, right? But yeah, no buying for me until further notice. I let my family know that too. I said everything going on. Buying stocks right now just doesn't make any sense. They're all literally going to drop lower. It's just going to be a slow bleed every week. That's all that's going to happen. And it's because of everything that's going on right now. So, yeah, there you guys have it. No more buying for me. Not a bear. I mean, you could, like I said, you could buy index funds, just individual stocks. It's a no-go. It's a no-go for me. So, yeah, that's it. There you guys have it. That will go ahead and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.